My name is Abby and I come from a small country in Africa called Botswana. 8 days ago, my friends and I, who are from the Visual Power Camp of Communication University of China, supported by the China Songqing Ling Foundation, went on a Silk Road tour. We went from Beijing to Xi'an, Tianshui, Lanzhou, to Dunhuang and then back to Beijing. Follow me, let's go over the 8 days of the wonderful trip. It was our first time walking in the desert, which started with a lot of excitement and happiness, but ended with a lot of torture and pain. It was a great challenge that we had never been through before.
Let's rest. Let's rest. Let's sit down and rest.
We're not moving anymore.
Last night we were sleeping in the desert. So now we are going to hike the desert mountains.
That's the hill, and there is another very high hill. Maybe we should use this volley?
Yes.
No. Up here. Yes.
This is really cool adventure. And this desert actually is really famous around the world. So it's cool, at least to walk in it for 5 kilometers.
Gabby, who comes all the way from Panama, traveled across half the earth to China looking for different sceneries and views. She took so many pictures here. Every click of the shutter made a beautiful picture. Amila, who is from Sri Lanka, started to show off his physical fitness when others were too exhausted to continue walking.
In Sri Lanka we don't have deserts, we don't have snow, no climate change. So after came to China, I explored these things. So this is a good opportunity to me.
We start our Silk Road trip in Xi'an. It's a city with many historical sites. The best way to know about this city is to walk through the city, touching the wall, touching the bricks, thousands and hundreds of years old. It's said that the city wall in Xi'an is the most well-preserved one in China and has been standing there for over 1,400 years.
Yes, this is the first time. And we are riding on bicycle in the very famous place actually. One of the world wonder in Chinese Great Wall.
By putting antique city wall and the endless traffic flow together, it felt like watching thousands of years passing right through our eyes.
No, what is how to say this one?
Lantern.
Okay.
灯笼.
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 Right.
灯笼.
Yeah.
中国灯笼.
Yeah.
It's said that there is a place in Xi'an that no one would miss. It's one of the world wonders and it's called the Terracotta Warriors Museum. I have been to the Palace Museum before, which aroused my interest in Chinese emperors. I heard that the very first emperor of China built himself a giant tomb with millions of ceramic chariots and warriors. Only in the number 1 pit, there are over 8,000 statues of ceramic warriors. It looks like it took a lot of work, and still after all these years, it still looks good and very well maintained, well taken care of. My first time. I enjoyed it. And it's really amazing how they keep it so restored, and the archaeologists must work so hard.
But you know, many of those items, they are artificial, they are not real.
They're not the real excavated one?
Yeah.
The made-up ones? Oh,
You have the Museum of National History in Botswana, and what is the most impressive there?
the most impressive are the stone paintings.
Stone paintings?
Yeah, stone paintings. And the most famous things back home, we don't have a lot of history on fighting or anything like that. We're not fighters.
That's cool.
Yeah. Xi'an is also the origin of traditional Chinese folk art called shadow playing. The local performer standing behind a wide screen manipulated some small puppets made of skins of animals or paper and sang ancient Chinese stories using local dialects. Shadow play is a really famous and popular in Chinese history. It was even brought to East Asia and Europe. We were all amazed when first watching such interesting plays.
The one holding a single one behind that is you can change his.
After we finished watching the performance, we wanted to get in on the play. We got a chance to learn how to play and we put on a good show. But we realized the art is way beyond us and we did not understand what to do.
We are going to the train station to use our tickets. Jianshui.
I love Xi'an. It's so beautiful, even though we didn't have a lot of time to explore a lot of places. I think one day I want to come back here and explore some more alone. I love it, but I'm excited to go to the next place. I can't wait. The main transportation for our trip was the train. Even though we had imagined riding horses and camels like people living 2,000 years ago, the train is actually the most frequently used transportation in China. It is fast, convenient, and very clean. And it also makes our Silk Road trip as fast as flashing lights. Different to the quiet and quick high-speed train in eastern China, people taking the normal train enjoy talking and chatting, even between strangers who have never met before. The sailors on the train also showed a stronger sense of humor.
They are very friendly. I think they are very friendly, and they are very curious about us. So they came to take some pictures, and they are looking over what we are doing.
The local tour guide told us if you want to know more about recent 1,000 years history of China, you should go to Beijing. But if you want to know about the recent 3,000 years history of China, then you need to go to Xi'an. If you want to know about 5,000 years history of China, you have to go to Tianshui. The day we arrived in Tianshui happened to be the day that the Chinese people were celebrating their annual sacrifice for their ancestor, Fuxi. They knelt, danced, sang, everything was new to us and we were very excited. But in fact, we are the real new thing to the people here. We were followed around by big crowds of people, no matter where we went. They circled us, taking lots of pictures of us. We were like animals escaped from the zoo. People staring at us with eyes full of curiosity and questions. Amila, who was also treated like a superstar, also experienced this blessed sorrow. Later, our friends came up with an idea for us. We decided to stand there and see how many people would be attracted to us. I don't know why maybe I seem more open. Yeah, maybe because they just come and they're just like oh,
this,
thank you,
yeah.
thank you. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's probably.
Okay.
照一张，咱们喜庆一下啊！
啊！你要上你就上去。我能照完了呢。你就上去。
把你在这前头来停留。
I feel like a star. I feel like I'm famous and I feel like I'm so pretty and I feel like they're so awesome and all of them seem so excited to see me. So it excites me.
They are afraid.
跟叔叔打个招呼吧。跟叔叔。
They are afraid.
Hello, hello.
They are afraid. I know that. Yeah, scared.
I couldn't. He will pee on me or something. It's crazy. And he was wearing the pants with the hole. Why do Chinese babies do that? But the baby can pee anytime on you. That's crazy. So scary. I don't want a baby to pee on me. Look at the pants. Look at the pants. Look at this. Oh my God. Millie, he loves me. He's sitting on the bed. He's a model. Oh my God, he loves me. Amila is a Buddhist and he is digging out every piece of clue of Buddhism all the way during our trip. His devotion to his belief really touched all of us.
This is a statue. Bodhisattva statue. So I saw only this one in this museum because actually this is not a Buddhist temple. You don't know that?
I don't know.
Maybe I think they think that Fuxi Empire is like a god.
I don't think so, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So what is the reason for
He's a
the?
human.
Yeah, but yeah, of course he's a human. But
Yeah.
now he's not here, so the people think that now he became a god. Okay. 3 times.
Together like this, and you close your eyes and think about things and make a wish.
Just on the next day, when we set sail for the Holy Land of Buddhism, the weather gave us a big test.
Do you like
like the weather?
Yeah, the local people call that Mai Ji, because the shape of the mountain looks like Mai Ji, so we call it Mai Ji Mountain.
Now there we have 194 caves up on the hill. Your task is find one cave made in Song Dynasty. In the 194 caves, they are made in different period of history in China, but only one cave is made in Song Dynasty. You are going to find it.
The guide told us that around 1,700 years ago, ancient artists started carving and digging the Meiji Mountains, and carving statues of Buddha as well.
If you look carefully, each of them have different faces.
They really took the time and the energy and the everything to make everyone look different. It's not just like copy paste, you know. So that really amazes me. I'm wondering how many people it took to make this, because this is so amazing. The people who did this, they're artists.
Can you see this statue?
Now there are 221 caves, over 10,000 Buddha statues, and 1,300 square meters fresco here in Meiji Mountain. We walked on this narrow wooden board, flying in the mid-air, clinging for dear life in the cliffs. It's really hard to imagine how people back in the old times built it.
Let's start.
Thousands of years ago, Buddhism connected China and South Asia via the Silk Road. What differences are these statues? When we see these statues, Amila told us the difference.
Actually, according to me, Buddhism is a philosophy. So Lord Buddha is a philosopher.
The teacher gave us a mission to find the only cave digged in the Song Dynasty, which is the number 165 cave.
Lot of things. I'm so confused. Everything is near. How do we find these things? That is the cave. 165. No, this is. Come here. Nice place.
And that one is called General Ha. Look at their mouth. Yeah.
This is the two-faced general sitting.
In Chinese we call it.
There is a saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. The Buddhist statues may be different from country to country, but the instructions that the belief gave us are the same. There are treasures of humans for thousands of years.
166 is.
Come on, that way. 166 we found.
We found 166. Ni hao.
52.
Eager. How to say?
AK, stay right there. Don't move.
165.
165号窟在哪
165. I think I missed it.
AK, come on.
Is it finished?
I don't think so. David, for you, 165. We have to go there.
David, hurry. Here.
Just out. They found it.
Eyebrows are slanted. Mouth is small.
All the teams found the cave number 165 in the end. We were all deeply impressed by the arts on the cliffs made over thousands of years ago. But that was just the beginning, because we are going to another place which is even more well-known and more beautiful to foreign visitors, Dunhuang. The local guide told us that the weather here is quite unstable. The sandstorms would come at any time, so we'd better hurry up for our travels. After running nearly 20 kilometers through the Gobi Desert, we arrived at the famous Magao Cave. In 1987, the name first appeared on the list of the World Heritage. The place was not only a middle stop in trade route between China and the Western countries, it is also an intersection of religions, cultures, and knowledge. Magao Caves consist of 492 small caves, and it is famous for its statues and fresco. Due to the discovery of the Magao Caves, China founded a special study called Dunhuangology. The Magao Caves have very abundant Buddhism culture and valuable art pieces which might take my whole lifetime if I want to learn all of them. The Magao Caves in Dunhuang were very impressive. But the most amazing moment to me is still hiking through the Gobi Desert. After getting out of the desert, we went to a crazy party with all of our friends and classmates. The night we spent in the desert was full of warmth and joy and very terrible songs, or some might say unforgettable songs, which are still echoing through my mind right now.
We'll always love you.
Persuade more to make a glass of wine, June, west of Yangguan Reason People, is a Chinese poem. On the last day of our trip, we drove 65 kilometers towards the west from the city center of Dunhuang and traveled to Yangguan. Yangguan locates at the edge of the Gobi Desert, and it is an ancient pass on the old Silk Road.
I've learned that Chinese people are very resourceful. Just from the many different history lessons we've been given about the Silk Road, they started so long ago, and still right now they're still using it to improve their economy. And that is the whole point of the Silk Road, to improve the economy of the country. So that's really cool.
My friend Amila dressed himself up like an emperor in order to experience the hard life of ancient Chinese leader.
My body is too... China is a big country, not a small country. So if the person who is an empire of China, I think he is so busy man. He has a lot of things. So he has to think about everything. The borders of China, the Chinese people's economy, their future, their security, everything. So I think he's a very busy person.
May have traveled just like us, in the same route starting from Chang'an, Xi'an. But when they arrived here, they would continue to the west to the purpose of conducting trades and culture communication. Unlike them, we need to head back to Beijing. It is quite meaningful to choose Yangguan as our final destination.
Actually, this trip is very fabulous, very interesting, amazing. In my lifetime, I think I can say this is my best trip, because a lot of foreign students and Chinese students. We are working together, share our experience, our feelings, as well as the China has great history. We went to desert areas, we went to very historical temples, we went to see some historical places. So I took a lot of pictures to share with my countrymates.
We have to say goodbye to 15 of our Chinese friends. During this 8-day fantasy journey, we acquired a lot of friendships, as well as learned Chinese history, culture, and costumes. Just like what ancient Chinese poems did, my friend David made a poem as a perfect ending to our special journey.
With my horse, saddle, and caravan, I have returned from Persia to Yangguan. With my dates, saffron, and wine, I will make a fortune here.
There are countless of places in China waiting for us to explore. I even wish I could bring some of them back to my country, Botswana, and tell all my family and friends how beautiful China is.